In this video, I'm breaking down 3 plays talking about Mike Macdonald's disguises earlier in the year. I believe each of these are pre-Roquan Smith. We'll watch this play and then we'll break it down. This is 3rd down and 8 versus the Bengals. Pre-snap look has both Ravens linebackers inside, mugging in these A gaps. Once the ball is snapped, I believe that this look is very effective in keeping this running back occupied so far as his role in protection inside. Once the ball's snapped, both linebackers drop. We'll look at the safety looks. We have Chuck Clark in what could be a single high look off the ball. Once the ball is snapped, in terms of our safeties, we'll see Chuck rotate to a half field coverage along with Marcus Williams. I believe this is Brandon Stevens. He's going to rush the quarterback from the nickel position. And in addition to these 2 linebackers dropping, we'll get 99 Owe dropping as well. Both Owe and Malik Harrison drop and become our hook players. I'm calling this a Tampa 2 disguise. The Ravens are very lucky to have such an athletic linebacker as Pat Queen. You need that to run this defensive look. He's protecting either seam deep. Again, very athletic linebacker in Pat Queen. Marlin off the ball really does a good job rerouting, absolutely taking away that read within the first 5. Note Jamar Chase is running this out. Why doesn't the quarterback get rid of it? My suspicion is because this is Marcus Peters. Very wise decision, I would say, because Marcus is going to sit on this thing and drive on it. Ultimately, Marcus has got to make this tackle in the flat and get the Ravens off the field, and that's exactly what he does. Let's watch it again. This is yet another Mike Macdonald Tampa 2 disguise. Josh Bynes is going to rush from the linebacker position. He gets home in a hurry. We'll watch it, and then we'll break it down a little. We'll look at the back end first. Marcus Peters at the bottom of your screen is a key component in this blitz getting home. I believe he takes away the quarterback's first read, how he goes from off man in 2nd and 7, and just before the ball is snapped, he's up pressing the receiver. We also have Demarion Williams lining up as a nickel, does a good job right as the football is snapped, shifting into half field coverage. The one high look disappears as Marcus Williams rotates to the bottom of our screen in half field coverage. And we see Chuck Clark dropping to the middle part of the field in this Tampa disguise. He's very mindful of watching the seam routes to either side. As far as what's going on up front, I think Broderick Washington is key as well. Not only does he pull the center away from Bynes' blitz, gets his hands in his chest, absolutely demolishes him, controls him, and drives him, and there's no chance for the center to get off. Additionally, up front, we get Malik Harrison with a little reroute of the tight end and then becoming the hook player. And we get Owe in much the same role. Watch it again. So each of these 3 plays are early. They're early in the year. They're early in the career of Mike Macdonald. And something that just occurred to me is that not only is Roquan Smith not on the field because he's not a member of the team to this point, but we don't see Kyle Hamilton in any of these plays. It's fair to say that that is 2 spectacular players or 2 huge parts of what Macdonald wants to do with those players that we don't see as part of this particular video. 2nd and 10 versus Buffalo. 10 personnel starts off as a slot trips look, and then they motion this Y across. I think that ends up getting the Ravens. We'll watch this play and then we'll break it down a little bit. Still some very interesting things to see. in terms of how the Ravens disguise their looks and their coverages. We've got Patrick Queen creeping up just over the center. We've got Marcus Williams aligned wide as if he might come on the rush just before the ball snapped. He's a deep seam defender. Marlon has Diggs at the bottom of our screen. This has got to be a Meg coverage to my mind. That's man everywhere he goes. You can see Marlon's giving him some cushion. The Ravens are sending Brandon Stevens once again here versus Buffalo. And I love the way they cover this number 2 receiver. Love the way they use Chuck Clark. Comes downhill upon that nickel blitz. He splits 1 and 2. And we see our athletic linebacker, Patrick Queen, doing a great job dropping under that number 2 receiver and having a feel for him behind him, reading the quarterback. Not to beat this drum too much, but you are without 2 spectacular athletes. But look at the 2 that you do have in Patrick Queen and Marcus Williams. I think Marcus' role here is really to check something backside as a crosser. I really like how Macdonald plays the linebackers here. Harrison gives the appearance of a linebacker covering a running back. The Ravens blitz the nickel toward the running back side, and you get a big stick, I think, from number 4 over 2 gaps. That clears C gap for Malik Harrison. In my opinion, Owe is supposed to feign a rush and drop as a hook defender. But with this motion, I think Allen sees that right away as a matchup that he might be able to take advantage of, particularly with a few wrong steps. I'd like to see Owe get hands on the tight end, as this is really a man-match situation. I don't blame Owe particularly on this. He just kind of gets caught. There's something I don't believe that was communicated particularly well about that motion.